right, taking a look at what the nation's newspaper reported from that election. The nation's newspaper reported it as tension as Ohaneze Ndigbo elects new president. There is fear and tension in the concerned 7 southeast and south-south states over the intrigues surrounding the election of the new leaders of Ohaneze Ndigbo. The Apex Igbo socio-cultural organization scheduled to hold Sunday, January 10, 2021, and of course that. Okay, let's take a look at what the Vanguard also reported, and the Vanguard is reporting it from someone's angle. The chairman of the Parallel Electoral Committee on the Ohaneze Ndigbo, Prince Richard Ozobu, has warned that any election conducted after January 9, which was yesterday, is illegal, null and void. In an interview with Vanguard newspaper, he stated that the electoral committee led by him had conducted elections into various offices in the local, state and national executive committees of Ohaneze on the 9th of January in Enugu and urged Igbo people to support the new executives. Now, the Guardian newspaper reported it as a crisis may have engulfed the national election of Ohaneze Ndigbo scheduled to hold in Owerri, Imo State. That was yesterday. Now, we have joining us this morning on the platform Chuks Ibegbu, the immediate past national publicity secretary of the socio-cultural group Ohaneze Ndigbo. Chief, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
You're welcome. You're speaking with Michael Oni, and we're live on Flow 94.9 FM.
Yes.
All right. I want to sort your opinion. Yesterday, a winner emerged at the election held in Imo State. Another winner emerged at a parallel election in the same Imo State. That was on Saturday. What is going on within the folds of Ohaneze Ndigbo?
Well, thank you very much. You see, I am a party to the election process that Ohaneze, led by Miyamoto, then instituted.
Okay.
And our tenure is supposed to end. It's supposed to end on the 10th. Our tenure ought to have ended, or should have ended by 10th of January.
All right.
And of course, there has to be an election to bring in a new regime.
That's today.
That's bringing a new regime.
Okay.
Expectedly today. And people met and set up an election committee. At the end of the day, there were a series of agitations for inclusiveness, proper inclusiveness in the Modi. And it was done again. Another emergency Modi was held, and the election committee was finally given nod, led by Igariwe, the former president general of Ohaneze, and they were given the mandate to conduct an election. Incidentally, I was a secretary general candidate for that election, and so many other people also showed interest, and they went about doing their business. Incidentally, a group led by the former Secretary General, did not agree with that, and they set up their own committee and went ahead, according to them, to conduct the election. For me, the election, there was nothing wrong with that. Who did the election in Owerri or by the committee, but my own grounds with the whole process was that at a point a lot of influence ought not to, or another should be the way.
Okay, before we go straight to the influence, what led to the parallel election? Were there grievances by those that went on with their election on Saturday?
Was that what?
Were there grievances that weren't addressed by the national body before they went on with their election on Saturday?
You mean the Owerri election?
Yes, the one that took place on Saturday.
Okay. The Owerri election took place on Sunday, not Saturday.
Another one too. You're not aware of the parallel election?
Okay, you're talking about the Ozobo Richard led the committee.
Yes, another election took place on Saturday.
Yeah, we had it. I had it like any other person, but a group led by the former Secretary General, Uche Okoko, held the election in their election somewhere in the wherever, and they produced their own executive. I had it as every other person had it.
Interesting. So now let's look at the influences now. What do you mean by influences from some quarters?
You see, of course, governors of Igbo land are stakeholders, no doubt about that. But when they have a due influence in deciding who is the delegate for Ohaneze Ndigbo election, in deciding who is going to play one role or the other, then it becomes Ohaneze becomes a tool, an extension of government houses, and that's what we have always advocated against. And that's why somebody like me in the neck, I always advocated Ohaneze should be independently funded. We should not depend on governors, because he who pays the piper pays the tune. We should have a mechanism of generating funds to run Ohaneze. But if you are unable to do that, you are now giving politicians and governors and other political entities the leeway to infiltrate Ohaneze, hijack it, decide who are delegates to election. For instance, I contested, or I was supposed to contest, but I didn't contest anyway. I was supposed to contest Secretary General, as Igbo people urged me to do. But when we got to the ground, the rules were not clearly stressed. We didn't know who were delegates. These delegates came out from government houses. They wrote down mental and they brought their party chairman, party wards, and to become delegates to an Igbo election instead of using town unions. That Ohaneze should be the fulcrum of the town unions, to be the fulcrum of communities. But brought in their party leaders, party members in the local government. I understand even one governor recruited all the delegates from his all the party lineups from the chairman of his parties in the state, and it's happened in all the states. So when this kind of thing happened, of course those so-called delegates would dance to the tune of the governors, and that was what played out in Owerri. And I had to boycott that election. I didn't, and of course instead of using secret ballot.
So we can say you're also aggrieved with the outcome of the election and the conduct of the election.
I was not against Ohaneze having an election, because we were the process. We are the people that leapfrogged that there should be an election because our tenure was ending. But what I was saying, that at a point, external influences, politicians came in and hijacked the process.
All right, you're saying that politics should be separated from the social-cultural group Ohaneze Ndigbo, and you do not want the influence of our governors from the southeastern part of the country. Now, like
I said, the governors are stakeholders, but they should not hijack Ohaneze.
Interesting. Now, let's look at the funding of this organization. How do you get funded?
Good. There has not been a clear-cut way of getting funds. In the past, we are depending on grants, donations, and goodwill from. It shouldn't continue in the 21st century. We are living in a digital age.
Okay, grants, donation from where, Chief?
From public-spirited Igbos and all this and all that. If you have a program, you go and be begging cap in hand for money to do that program. That's not supposed to be. And I push for reforms that Ohaneze should have. We should have a website. We should advertise. We should make Ohaneze enticing to all Igbos all over the world, so that they will willingly donate. They will willingly contribute towards running Ohaneze. But as long as the governors dole out some money every month to Ohaneze, Ohaneze will never be independent.
Now, there was. I'm aware that you saw this letter from dated August 2020 from Meyeti Allah, nominating Professor Obiozo, who emerged winner yesterday, and they are also bringing in their own influence. As we are aware, according to that letter, they said they are aware that the present tenure that elapsed today of Ohaneze Ndigbo, and of course they want Professor Obiozo, who will also have their interest as the President General. Are you aware of that letter?
It's been in the public. 1 minute.
The public domain. We have it that the Yeti Allah and of course for Ohaneze elections, many interest groups, even non-Igbos, are interested. Because we are talking about so many issues. We are talking about 2023. We are talking about insecurity. We are talking about the integrity of...
Chief, just permit me. We need to go for a break now, Chief. I'm going to return to you immediately after the break. Thank you very much. Sorry for quoting you there. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. We're still looking at the aftermath of the Ohaneze Ndigbo election that took place yesterday. There was a parallel election. Another one took place on Saturday, both in Imo State. We'll take a break now. When we return, we continue our conversation with Chief Chuks Ibegwu, the immediate past National Publicity Secretary of that social cultural organization.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business, high-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Well, thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. And we're looking at the aftermath of the Ohaneze Ndigbo election that took place yesterday. The one that brought Professor Obiozo, he was declared the winner. We also had another parallel election on Saturday. And of course, Chief Chuks Ibegwu has been very helpful, giving us insight into what is happening and of course the grievances of some members of that social cultural organization. Chief, are you still there?
I am.
All right, great. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Now let's go straight to some other issues now, just before I let you go this morning on the program. Let's look at the unionism that is expected from the southeastern part of the country now that we're seeking a president of Igbo extraction. Don't you think that these lapses, these cracks will affect 2023 election as far as Southeast is concerned?
Of course, we are concerned. I am deeply concerned, as many other Igbo stakeholders, because we are not alone in this country, and other zones of the country are interested. They are watching. They are looking at us. You see, in the past, we had a situation where we messed up opportunities given to us for one reason or the other. In 5 years, we produced 5 Senate presidents. It doesn't go well for people that feel marginalized politically, socially, and economically. Some of our people do not help matters when it comes to these issues. Of course, the other parts of the country are also agitating one way or the other to that power should not shift to the southeast or the land, and that therefore becomes very necessary for us to put our house in order. And Ohaneze ought to be the pilot in this 2023 project. So what is actually happening is not properly, it's not good for what we are pursuing. And I hope and I believe other stakeholders, because other Igbo stakeholders in other fora should come together. There should be a summit.
All right.
There should be a summit.
Is there a way forward now that Professor Obiozo has emerged as the President General of the organization? Is there a way we can appeal, the organization can appeal to the members that are not happy, that are aggrieved about the process?
That's what I'm saying before you come in. What I would suggest, you see, I have nothing against Professor Obiozo as a person.
All right.
He is eminently qualified to be the to lead the Ohaneze. But what I'm saying is that it's now the onus lies on him and other stakeholders. If they should be impartial, because our problem has been partiality. Allowing political stakeholders to hijack Ohaneze is very dangerous. So, however, the situation is, other stakeholders should come together. It's not only him. Other stakeholders should come together, because Ohaneze is a symbol of Igbo dignity and Igbo integrity. So, other stakeholders, I understand the bishops of Igbo land are trying to come together. Traditional rulers, other stakeholders should come. There should be a summit, Igbo Unity Summit, and devoid of political interference. It should be a summit or handshake. I call it handshake among the Igbos. Should take place immediately. We are all, because there are genuine grievances, we cannot completely rule out all these genuine grievances. For instance, I am the spokesman of Ohaneze, and I was not happy with what happened at Owerri and the way it happened. Politicians hijacked it.
All right, Chief Ohaneze Ndigbo, many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We will get back to you as event unfolds as far as this particular topic of discussion is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
You're welcome. Yeah, that's Chief Ohaneze Ndigbo, immediate past National Publicity Secretary of Ohaneze Ndigbo. You heard. Now you have an idea of what is happening in that organization.